All right, let's talk arts in general terms. It feels like I'm introducing you to a friend. Hello, hi, this is the arts, this is the student. Um, yes, I've always wanted to introduce you to. So, the liberal arts is a degree that acts as a bit of an umbrella. So, at the end of your degree, you'll get a piece of paper which says Bachelor of Arts on it. But what that actually means will look different for every single person in your cohort. You're all going to be interacting with it a little bit differently. The arts as a degree is generally 2 to 3 years long, but it is very, very common to make it a double degree to pair it with something else like I have, and that generally puts it up in the 4 year range. Uh, the degree becomes specific, as I mentioned before, due to the majors or minors that you choose. And we'll talk through a few of those a little bit later on. So again, everyone is going to look different. For me, I picked IR and peace and conflict, but there is, geography and history and English literature and hundreds more to be choosing from. So that's what specifies the degree, picking those majors and minors. At some universities, you might start off your degree by doing general arts subjects where you're introduced to things like history in a bunch of different disciplines. For the case of UQ, that's not how we roll. Instead, you pick a major and minor or two majors or whatever from the very get-go, and you stick within that discipline until you decide you do not want to any longer or you graduate. So as I mentioned before, this degree is all about developing transferable skills for long-term success. So educators within this degree want to create students that are critical thinkers, that are communicators, that are curious, that are problem solvers. So that is what it's all kind of about. There are well over 40 study areas. There are, in the cases of some universities, there's like 70 study areas that you can choose from, spanning the humanities, social sciences, and languages. So there is a huge range of disciplines that you can dig your teeth into within an arts degree. The arts is perfect for travel. So if you've always dreamt of going on exchange, then this is one of the programs that will really be perfect for that. And you can gain real world experience in partner universities all across the world while gaining credit towards your degree, which is so, so cool. So if you would like to be a part of that, I encourage you to do some research within the university that you're attending and seeing what opportunities there are for you. This is a degree that has very, very few exams. It is the vast majority of essays and presentations. So instead of sitting down in a room for 2 hours and doing some multiple choice, you're going to be asked to do a lot of essays and a few presentations in front of tutorials and things like that as well. So I've been at university for over 2 years, and during that time, I have never sat a university exam. For either of my degrees that I'm currently studying. So that is that's something to flag. If you guys are very familiar and used to your exams, since you've just done a whole bunch of them at the end of the year, the end of year 12, you might need to step away from them a little while and get really familiar with these essays, because that's what we're looking for at uni. And we're going to be walking through how to write a good university essay later on in our session today. So depending on the uni, there are a few ways that you can structure an arts degree. I do want to say that this is a national lecture, so I can't just talk towards UQ students or Queensland students. I do want to say that obviously the details are going to change within universities, which is why it's so important that you are reading your university websites, your course profiles, all of that information really carefully so you know exactly what they are looking for. The most common ways to structure an arts degree is a student picks a major and a minor. So a major just has more credit points towards it, whereas a minor has fewer. You'll generally spend less time working on your minor. So perhaps within a semester made up of 4 subjects, you'll have 3 subjects within your major and just 1 dedicated to your minor. Another option is a double major, which is what I've done, and the credits are split evenly between the 2 subjects. So because I'm doing a double degree in a 4-subject semester, 2 subjects are dedicated towards my communications degree and 2 are dedicated towards my arts degree. And within those 2 subjects, I have 1 international relations subject and 1 peace and conflict subject. There are also third major or minor options. So you could pick a double major and then do like a third major, or you can do like a major and 2 minors. Again, it's different for each university, and those are more specialized cases, so they're not as common as the other 2. But definitely something to look into if you're looking for a really broad range of study. You want a little bit of a taste of everything. Here is just a selection of majors and minors that I could find across a bunch of different universities throughout Australia. So as you can see, there is a huge number of study areas that you could do. Just to pick a few, there's anthropology, there's English literature, journalism and mass communication, Korean, sports studies, global development, music, popular music and technology, psychology, criminology. So there's a huge range of things that you could be a part of, which is so exciting. It means that there is absolutely something for everyone in this list. I've heard academics throughout the years claim that arts is something that every student should have a taste of during their time at university, just to get those transferable skills that I was talking about earlier. So it's so exciting that there's so much to choose from. It means that you can find something that you're really, really passionate about. For me, that was what I looked for when picking my majors. I was like, what am I excited about learning about? What do I want to know more about? What to me stands out as something that is going to, just foster passion for me. And international relations and peace and conflict was absolutely that for me. But obviously, as I mentioned before, majors and minors are going to differ between different universities. So make sure that you are checking that list and finding ones that stand out to you. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of time to break down an example arts subject, first year arts subject, and what that actually might look like, some of the information that you might need to look for within things like course profiles. So at UQ, each subject that you take has a dedicated course profile, and I'm going to assume that at every university there is something similar for you guys to be interacting with. Basically, it's one place that you can find all the necessary information about the subject that you are taking during a semester. So I'm going to walk us through what that might look like as a first year international relations student. Let's check that. No questions? Cool. Okay. So what does a first year arts subject look like? And we're going to take the example of Introduction to International Relations, or IR 101, essentially. So this is these couple of sentences here are something that is going to be right at the top of your course profile, and it basically is walking you through the key learning objectives for the subject. What is it exactly that they want you to do? So they want you to learn theoretical frameworks and research techniques to understand national and international issues and problems. They want you to be able to identify relevant sources from a variety of media and judge their importance and reliability. They want you to evaluate ideas and develop creative solutions to problems, including through independent pursuit of knowledge and making connections between different disciplinary approaches and methods. They want you to be able to communicate and debate both orally and in writing, and work with others using a variety of media, and understand the ethical implications of ideas, communications, and actions. Now, all of these are applicable to almost every arts discipline that you could take. These are the key skills that they want you to be able to have. Theoretical frameworks, identifying relevant sources across a variety of media, evaluating and developing ideas and creative solutions to problems, independent pursuit of knowledge, so independent research, and being able to make connections between disciplines. Communication is a major part of the arts. I don't know why I started doing this. Communication is a major part of the arts. It's going to encapsulate pretty much every assessment task that you do throughout your degree. It is so important to be able to be fostering those communication skills. And then understanding at a base level the ethical implications of ideas, communications, and actions. So flagging before how arts is about creating more empathetic people as well. This is a big part of your degree. It's being able to look out into the world, having a greater understanding of the issues out there, and therefore having a greater sense of empathy as well. So this particular subject, Introduction to International Relations, will have a sort of like sentence at the start which sort of encapsulates what the subject's all about. So it aims to equip students with the tools to better understand the changing nature of modern international relations. It provides students with conceptual tools with which to engage in the study of international politics and with which to analyze and make sense of current events and associated developments. So when you're looking through the major to choose or the subjects you want to choose within your major, then you can be looking for sentences or kind of like little phrases at the start of the profile like this. It gives you like this broad view of what the subject is all about and what it wants you as the student to be able to do. It is so important when you start a course to understand the course objectives. So what do they want you to be able to achieve by the end of it all? By the end of the semester, what do you need to know? Because that is going to give you plenty of hints about what you're going to be required to do on each of your assessment tasks. So in your first year, these are generally going to be broad skills that contribute to your degree in its entirety. So it's really important to be on top of them in first year because it gives you a pretty good idea, pretty good path forward about what the rest of your degree may look like. The last thing that I wanted to quickly do is give you a little taste of what an example assessment might look like within one of these first year subjects. So for IR, you might have something like a minor essay, so just 1,000 words, and you're asked to take 2 of the required readings from the semester on a shared topic to draw out their similarities and differences and reach a conclusion about which you find most persuasive. So that's an example of the type of assessment you probably see in your first year within arts. A lot of assessment based on required readings that you've had to do throughout the course. Lots of things like comparison, drawing out the key arguments, comparing those key arguments, discussing which you find most persuasive. Those are very common to see in your first year.